Playing over a C minor chord, here's G minor. If I try and add the C note, the root note of the chord, what you're hearing actually is the root note of the chord, the flat 9, and the natural 9. Today we're going to listen, we're going to develop our ears, we're going to explore the sound of a triad with tension 2, minor triad with tension 2, and we're going to listen to it and work on developing phrases and maybe put it over a few different chords so we can hear this thing completely separated from the traditional approach of thinking about chord tones. Okay, where it's more of scalar thinking, but even that is not exactly what we're after here. We are going to start off with a basic scale approach just to get the fingers in our fingers in our shapes, the shapes in our fingers. So here's G minor triad. Miles, what's happening, man? All right, so we can have a position of G. Ideally, we want the whole fretboard, but in the beginning, positions are helpful. Now, if you're looking at the example notated out, you'll see the little white circle, okay? 5th fret, 6th string. Brent, what's up, man? Just working on our ears. Here's G minor, tension 2. Right, tension 2 is like our Eeyore note. Even in minor, it's much more obvious in major, but even in minor it kind of has this whatever feel to it. You want to hang? I don't know, whatever. It's almost more of a question mark than a statement. Okay, as quickly as we can, we want to focus on the ear first. Well, I guess you got to find the shape. Then as quickly as we can, get the ear open. And as quickly as we can, start using the ear to dictate phrases so that we're not just running up and down this like a scale or an arpeggio. We want something along the lines of this. We just want to be able to anticipate what that tension 2 is going to sound like and feel like. Right? It's going to want to pull up a half step to the minor third or resolve down to the root note below it. We don't always have to give it what it wants. We can just play it and resolve the line to it. That's okay, but it is going to feel a little bit unsettled, a little unresolved. That I'm getting off the 2, I'm leaping down at the 5th of the triad. So it's a little more resolved, but it still feels a little uneasy because we didn't hear the voice-led resolution. I'm leaping off of it. But you'll notice if you're new to the melodic triads approach, really quickly, you'll just start spotting all the notes inside this quadratonic, and it'll always sound like you know where you're headed. Like everything starts to sound 100% intentional. There's no noodling, there's no looking for things, there's no oops, that was the wrong note. Whether it's a stepwise movement or a leap, you'll be anticipating what you're about to hear, and ideally, if you stick with it for a little while, you'll just be playing the notes that you hear in your head. Looking at the example, you'll see that I listed a couple of different chords that we can put this shape over. There's a lot of chords we can put this over, but the main ones that we're going to listen to today are E half diminished 7 or E minor 7 flat 5, G minor 6 or G minor 7. This works with both of them. Very different harmonies. They usually serve different functions, but the melody can be the same. And then C minor 9. This works really beautifully over all these. So let's check out E half diminished first. This is an upper structure triad. It's a relatively simple one. We're just doing the 3rd, 5th, and 7th of the chord. We're leaving out the root note, so I'm not playing any root notes here, but it should sound like I am. You should hear a melodic do, a melodic root note. That note, the root note of the triad, G, should feel really really stable. Nice little leading tone to give us, to give our ear a hand in really hearing how strong that G note is. If I throw the E note in, because I am playing over an E half diminished chord, your logical mind, your music theory mind, if you know your theory, will tell you that it's going to feel even more stable than the G note, because it's the root note of the chord. Can you hear how it wants to move? It's not stable. E is now tension 6. Even though I'm playing over an E half diminished chord, I'm using the sound of a G minor triad to accomplish that, to create my melody. So we're actually, our ear is interpreting the E note as related to the G minor triad. G, A, B flat, C, D, E. Your ear is hearing this E note functionally as the 6 of the melodic structure. You could think of it as the 6 of a scale. I just like to call it tension 6 because it will behave the same over a variety of different chords, and ultimately what it wants to do is it wants to move. Even though it's the root note of the harmony, we have the harmonic structure, we have the melodic structure. In the harmonic structure, the E is functioning as the harmonic root note. In the melodic structure, it's functioning as a tension note. It wants to move, and it is the 6 above the G minor triad that I'm playing with. Right, even down low. The G minor chords should be pretty obvious that it can work over, because this is just a root structure triad. Here's G minor 6. Okay, and then C minor 9. The C minor is a really cool chord to explore listening to the root note, like the chord's root note, because check out what happens. Here's G minor. Right, I'm playing over a C minor chord. Here's G minor. If I try and add the C note, the root note of the chord, you can hear right away it sounds like the blues scale. But what you're hearing actually is the root note of the chord, the flat 9, and the natural 9. Because you're hearing hearing that sound of a G blues scale, G minor blues scale over a C minor chord. Okay, so this is kind of like polytonality. It's an upper structure triad, but regardless of what chord we use it over, what we want to make sure is that our ear is learning to hear the tension 2 as a melodic tension note, a color, a little bit of drama inside the triad. And then as quickly as you can, stop practicing it as an arpeggio or as a scale. Focus on the ear, and as you start to hear it more clearly, start playing less notes. Right, focus on developing phrases. We can add leading tones, we can add chromaticism, we can add more pitches in once we're able to play phrases, but hip phrases don't necessarily come from playing more notes faster. They come from having your ear really wide open and then letting the emotions of these notes ring out. Perfect example that we'll wrap up on, blue and green. Okay, the very first chord is G minor. The melody starts on E, which most of us would look at the real book and think, okay, so it's a G minor 13. I look at it and I say that E is a tension 2 that wants to pull down to D. So this is a G minor 9, okay? So for G minor 9, I'm going to think of a D minor triad, tension 2. I might throw the sound of the blues in by adding the chord's root note, the G note. Right, that's G, G sharp, A, root, flat 9, natural 9 over G minor chord. But it sounds like the blues because I'm focusing all of my melodic ideas, my phrases on this upper structure triad on D minor. We're going to wrap up with that today. Remember to keep those ears open. Anytime you're not 100% sure what to work on or you're feeling stuck, listen deeper. Okay, try and turn the volume on the voices in your head down that are telling you all the different things you should be practicing and all the additional notes you need to be using and how no one thinks your ideas are cool enough. Try and crank the volume on that down and use that extra space to focus your ears on what you're actually hearing. There's a big difference between what we expect to hear. Like, we expect that when we play an E note over an E half diminished 7 chord, it's going to be the most stable sound. There's a very big difference between what we expect to hear and what we're actually hearing. It's weird when you start noticing that they don't always line up. In fact, I would argue that they oftentimes don't line up. So keep those ears open, keep your note choices simple, okay, and focus on strong phrases and let the notes speak for themselves. They have an energy and an emotion to them. Each one does. Let them have space to exist. Don't cram yourself, so intensely on top of them that they don't shine through, because they will make your music sound way better than you can make your music sound. So keep things simple. Focus on the ear, keep them phrase oriented. We can get into leading tones and chromaticism and more bebop and modern ideas relatively easily once you're able to respect the sound of the notes. Okay, minor triad, tension 2. Check out the notation if you need help with it. Hit me with comments down below. questions in the comment section. If you give this a shot and you play around with that E note, let me know in the comment section if you hear E note as the root melodically, or if you hear it as a melodic tension note. If you can hear it as a melodic tension note, it means your ear is growing. That's what we're looking for. We want to hear the E note when we're playing over E half diminished. We want to be able to hear the E note as a melodic tension, and we want to be able to hear that A note, tension 2, as wanting to resolve up or down to B flat or down to G. So let me know if you can pull that off, if your ear's getting bigger and can spot those different strange things happening. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Wednesday. We're doing our 2-5-1 and tunes. Till then, happy practicing. Hey YouTube, it's Jordan Clemens with NYC Jazz Guitar Master Classes and the Melodic Triad Study Group. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I have a ton of content coming out on YouTube this year. We've been doing daily jazz guitar lessons, so I'm going to be posting videos like this pretty much every day. So if you dug this and you want to follow me, subscribe and make sure that you turn on notifications so that you can watch more videos like this. Thanks again for watching. Hope to see you in the comment section. Hope to see you in the next video.